Hey guys, Tennessee Yankee. Hey, got the craziest thing just happened, and I just went to bring my tractor out. I was going to move my jet ski around to the garage to change the oil on it, and I started the tractor, pulled it out from under the house, and look, it's leaking gas like a sieve. So, never seen this problem. My assumption is the gas line under the fender, the seat pan, uh, must have sprung a leak or something, and once I started it up and pressurized it, um, it's leaking. I have noticed recently, for the last 6 months or so, it's been awful gassy smelling, but I've never noticed a leak before. Just thought it was some kind of vapor thing. So I guess I'm going to have to tear into this and see what's wrong, and we'll bring you along, and we'll see if we can figure it out together. Okay, I got it in the shop, so we got to get that seat pan off. I think I'm gonna just take the wheels off this time. It'll make it easier to get in there and get to those bolts behind. So we'll buzz those off real quick. Yeah, this sure has smelled gassy for a while, and I never noticed any physical leaking. It really showed up though with the full tank of gas, so really good. This has been kind of annoying with this gas smell, so we'll get this figured out today. That should give me enough, but we'll just stick some 2x4s under there just to be sure. There we go. The bolts on these bigger turf tires are a 5/8, or at least mine are. So. Let's get this seat out of our way. There's a little pin here. And I'll leave the seat pan on there. And then I think these bolts are 10 millimeter if I remember. Yep. So we got the one here. Got the one on the other side over here. All right, now we got these bottom two ones, and this is why it was just as easy to take the tire off. And I think this is it. We just got to get that seat switch unplugged. Okay, let's get this seat belt. I don't know why I keep wanting to call it a seat belt. Get this seat sensor unhooked. Seems to be nice and stuck in there. We might have to lift this a little bit before we can get to it. I don't know where the, oh, I know what it is. I was looking for a connection point, guys, but there isn't a connection point up down there. The connection point is right here. There, that was easy. Uh-oh. You see that carelessness? I forgot about the light bulbs. So I just pulled one of those out. Well, be all right, I guess. So what do you guys think? My best guess is we might be leaking. We got gas pooled in here. I would guess we might be leaking out of one of these clips here because I peeled back the Gorilla Tape I had here. I kind of like to keep my lines tucked in and protected, and I don't see any leaking there. So I guess I'm gonna clean this up with these rags here, and then I'll start her up and see if we can see where this leak's coming from. Sure does stink. Okay, she's dry now. Go get rid of these gassy rags outside real quick. All right, let's see if we can see what's going on here. Okay, I have no idea. That didn't show any type of fuel coming from any place. But you saw here how it was pooled up, and what I had leaking out when I was driving around still could have been from the initial problem. Like I said, the tank was fairly full. I mean, it was kind of close to the neck, but it wasn't up into the neck. And then it seemed like it was really leaking out of there before I shut it off and opened the cap. And then once I opened the cap, I was assuming it was just kind of residual leaking. So I'm kind of at a loss at the moment where the heck the leak is coming from. Guess I need to pull this tank up and see if I see anything visibly on the tank. I suppose another possibility could be, is there a compromised seal under this? And when I was kind of at an angle coming out of my underhouse storage, or at an angle coming up my hills mowing, did it leak out around the seal? And is that why I'm smelling gas? That's also a possibility, I guess. I guess I'll have to check that since I don't see anything wrong with the lines. You know, now that I think of it, I never experienced this gassy smell before I took the fuel pump out to inspect that before when I was having my coil problem. So I suspect that that could possibly be part of the issue. Okay, got all these lines pulled away. Pull the tank off. Okay, okay, it seems like everything looks to be bone dry between the fuel filter and back here at the tank. Man, I don't know. I don't see any issues or leaks with these lines. So my next step is, I guess I'm going to take this sending unit off of the tank and we'll look at the seal on that again. I should probably try to dump some of this gas out, or better yet, I'm going to take it outside. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this outside and I'm going to pretend like the tank is on a hill, and I'm going to see what it takes for gas to come out of the seals of that thing. Guys, I think that's it. Just when I started to move it out here, I think I saw gas starting to slosh around here. Yes, that's definitely it. So a little bit of fuel came out of here, but let me plug these. It looks like it's this seal. And it's more pronounced when the gas tank is full, obviously. I'm going to dry that up once more. This time I'm gonna this time I'll plug the lines before I tilt it. Okay, so I'm gonna plug these lines. Now let's tilt her up and see. Yep, it's coming right out of that seal. It's already full. So I guess we need to take this apart now and we will check it out. Before I do that, I'm gonna move some of this gas to a can. Might as well use my trusty pump. I use it to put gas in, might as well use it to take gas out. I'll put a link to in the description of one of these guys if you haven't seen it in my other videos. I just love these Terra pumps. They're amazing. By the way, when you click on the links in the description, that just takes you right to it in Amazon. It doesn't cost you any more to click on those links, but it does help me get a small commission when you press those. Help support the channel. I would imagine this probably isn't going to be a one-day repair because I'm going to have to get probably a seal ordered. Alright, so I got her up on the bench. We're going to clean it off and we'll get this thing opened up and check it out. Alright guys, so I just cleaned it up a little bit and I decided it's easier just to put it back on the tractor because it actually holds it steady. So I got all the cords. Look at this. My bungee cord comes to the rescue again. Works nice to keep all the lines out of my way. Alright, moment of truth, guys. So, let's see. Oh yeah, look at this thing here. That O-ring is just hanging there. So it must have got unseated or something. Maybe when I was screwing it in last time. I'll have to see how tight I can get it in there. But that could be the problem for sure. Okay guys, I did a little bit more looking. I'm pretty sure that my problem is obviously this O-ring. It's way too stretched out. I believe it has to go right here. It's got to go on up and over the fuel pump and go right here, but I don't know what part number this is. I do, in my bag of tricks over here of O-rings and gaskets, I do have this one O-ring right here that is, looks quite a bit different, but it is the same. Looks like it's about the same height. I'm going to attempt to put this on and see how tight it is. This may be a good enough solution for now instead of trying to find another one. I don't know what the part number is yet, so it's going to take me a little bit of research to figure that out. But let's start over the fuel pump. Let's go down here and see if I can get it around the float without stretching it too much. There we go. This is certainly way tighter. I'm sure I can make it stretch good enough. And like I said, I think it's about the same thickness. Before, when I put this together, you could see, I think what happened was it was so loose it would just fall down. It wouldn't even stay there. So this is gonna hold until I screw it in tight. I think this might be the solution, guys. I'm gonna give this a go. We're not out anything, but just an O-ring that was in my supply. I think this is probably one of those good reasons to have a variety of O-rings around, because you know, why pay a John Deere part number when you got these that might do the job. Okay, so we're going to put this back in here. There's 3 little nubs here, and you can probably see these 3 little notches. Those just need to line up. And there's only really one way you can go, because the float has to go towards the front, because there's no room in the back for the float to go. So that's sitting there like that. Yeah, we'll see. I still don't know that that's going to cut it, because it just seems like there's still too much play between the O-ring. It's not loose, but it might need to be a little thicker. It seems like I'd be a little tighter here. Now maybe when I tighten everything up, it'll all draw together. We'll give it a try. Yeah, it doesn't. Everything seems pretty firm there. I guess all I could do is fill it with fuel and plug these lines again and see if it's leaking, but I'm almost apt to take a chance on it at this point. I'm sure it's a little work to take it back apart again, but we'll see. Before I put this back on, I'm just going to do the process in reverse. I'm going to put some more fuel in there, see if I can't cover up the 2 fuel line ports with my fingers, slosh it around, and see if I'm seeing any leaks. In this situation, it'd be nice to know what a good little plug for those lines would be other than my fingers, but I can't think of anything. I'm going to put 2.5 gallons in here, and that should give us plenty of fuel in that area. Okay, this is what my crazy idea is. I got some of this leftover rubbery plastic stuff. I'm gonna try to stretch that around there, zip tie it, see if I can get that to make a little seal for a minute. Oh my gosh, guys, check this out. This is some redneck engineering. So here's that little piece I just showed you. It's working. It's gonna work great on this one, I think, because there's that little knurl on the end that I'm behind. So pulled it really tight, zip tied it. This one's a little tougher. You can still see I pulled it tight, but there's not much to grab on there. So I got the zip tie tight around there. I have everything else. I'll go over it one more time, but I have everything else kind of dried up there. Now hopefully I can put it upside down and shake it around a little bit and then see if I see any leaks around the new O-ring. Okay guys, so I think this O-ring is going to work. At least I shook it around some more after I stopped filming. Still didn't see any drops coming out before. That was leaking like a sieve before. So I took the Tennessee Yankee plugs off and I'll put her back together. You know, the only thing I don't know is if that O-ring that I found in my collection is going to, you know, withstand the gas, but it's what I got and we'll see how she does. I guess worst case scenario, it melts in my gas tank and I drain my gas tank. So I don't think that'll really be a problem, but we'll put her back together. So in the end, if this works, it's only going to cost me one light bulb. So guys, I got some exciting news for the channel. I'm selling my jet ski. That's a little bit of the bittersweet sad news. But I just ordered a Kubota tractor today. So I guess I'll have some green and some orange here. But I got a LX 2610 with a loader bucket and a back blade. So that's going to be all ready to go in about 4 or 5 weeks. And we'll have some new adventures here on the property to try out some new things. Okay, so I think I got everything routed good here. I did have to take this back apart again for a second because I had one of the electrical wires under it in the wrong spot. So I got the one with power coming up here that's going into the sending unit. I got the bulb on this side. I ran the bulb for the left-hand side over here down through this area, and then it comes back around here at the bottom. So, and then I got the seat sensor here. We'll just try to find room for that in this area. So I think we're good to put the fender pan back on again. Okay, so we'll reverse the process here. Some debris. Well guys, I also wanted to thank whoever's watching because over the last month, let's see, I don't know if this video will get up in April or May, but April 2022, our humble little channel hit 500 subscribers. So I'm really excited about that. It's been a huge, it's a milestone that I was excited to get to. So, you know, I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching, especially those of you who subscribe and come back to see more of the crazy things that I'm up to. Sometimes 500 doesn't seem like a lot, but you know, I've never given a presentation to 500 people at a sales meeting before, so just want to say thank you. All right. It appears we're pretty lined up there. One of the keys to this, when you're putting this back on, is just to make sure that you're really not tightening anything down until you kind of get everything started. So I see that I'm matching up over my holes over the top. So I'll go ahead and I think the first thing I'll do is I got to make sure this seat belt, why do I always call it seat belt? Make sure this seat sensor is poked up through before I get too carried away because I don't see that under there yet. I was too busy talking about the channel for a minute. Forgot what we were doing. It's quite a menagerie to try to get through here. Alright, I got it. You got to make sure you go through all the right spots here, because you want to come up through the green hole in the fender, and then you got to be up in this middle section. Otherwise, if you were to adjust the seat, you might slice through the wire. So we'll get this plugged in, and then we can get back to those bolts. I think that's in. Kind of a bugger. There it is. It kind of goes on, and then a little plastic snap. Little tab there to snap in. Okay, now let's see if we can line this back up again. Okay. Now looks pretty good. So just putting this first one through and just starting it. It's a little tricky here too, because you got the little bit of a rubber foot pad that you're going through too. Okay, I got one started on each side. I think sometimes it's helpful just to take yourself a little screwdriver and use that to help shimmy and line up to. That looks pretty good. That was easy. Now these top two. These are best to do last, in my opinion, because they have those little, I don't even know what you call them, but those little movable kind of U-clips in there. That's what the bolt's going in. So you have a little more tolerance if you need to move that around a little bit in the opening. Okay. They're all just kind of hand tight. Okay, I got her all tightened back up. All that's left to do is we'll throw the wheels back on and start her up. Everything's looking good with the cast iron axle still. I guess I'll plug in my bulb over here that I kind of killed almost. Hey guys, I decided to start the engine here and just run it a minute before I throw the tires back on. I just sniffed around there. Everything seems good. I don't see any visible leaks anywhere. So, like I said, I think we're doing pretty good. Just going to throw a little bit of oil in each of these threads. Can't hurt to have a little bit in there. Okay, let's get that seat back on and go from there. This seat is getting tired, boys and girls, but one of these days maybe we'll replace it. Still comfy. So these seat brackets want to be on the inside. All right, guys, this is going to wrap it up. I'll put back together. Let's try out the lights and see the consequences of this little project, which I don't remember if it was filming when I said it earlier, but I had that free O-ring that I found. Hopefully that'll work out and be gas resistant, but let's see. Oh, you know what? Looks like we lost both of our bulbs. Physically, this one, oh no, there it is. It was just loose. So, hey, the cost of our project was this one bulb that we broke because we forgot to take it out. Headlights are still working. I got to get the grill guard back in there. I was just mowed for the first time when I pulled it out and noticed the gas leak. I had to have the charger on there, so I got to put the grill guard back on. But thanks for joining me, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.
Hey guys, Tennessee Yankee. Thanks for watching. If you found this content helpful, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on your right. I have other content linked for you on the left side. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Thanks again for watching.